your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.
Broadcasting to you live from the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, California, Los Angeles to be specific. Hello everybody and happy Independence Day. Welcome to Agree to Disagree. Yes, in this wonderful country that we have, we're allowed to agree to disagree. We can have riled up, heated, passionate conversation, setting brush fires in the minds of men. Absolutely guaranteed by our First Amendment rights. But you got to remember, this holiday isn't just about a day you don't have to go to work and have some barbecue. It's about something serious. It's about something serious. Back on our birthday, July 4th, 1776, there are a lot of people that kind of signed their lives away and told the king something. And this is kind of unprecedented. And it's something you need to remember when you're thinking about the history of America. For all the blemishes and all the black eyes and all the negative things that this country has done, continues to do, and whatnot, it's still the best country on this planet. And back on July 4th, 1776, the unanimous Declaration of the 13 United States of America wrote this: when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms of which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government, and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. And things are listed. It continues. But you get the point. When the government no longer works for the people, it's our right to abolish it or alter it. I want to welcome into the program Blake the Eccentric Walley. He is a radio host and an activist. You can find him every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday from noon to 1:30 p.m. Pacific on freedomizerradio.com, and you can check out his podcast by searching Eccentric Perspective. That's the name of his show, Eccentric Perspective. Sign up for the podcast and check out his homepage, eccentricperspective.com. Oh, and Twitter at Eccentric99. Blake, welcome to the show and happy Independence Day, sir.
You as well, Brian. Thank you for inviting me here.
Absolutely, man. You know, we all have barbecues and fireworks and family and fun and whatever festivities we have planned today. So this is not going to be a marathon show by any stretch. But reading that first part of the Declaration of Independence, how does that translate today to you? I mean, does it resonate in a way that we're looking at Washington, asking a lot of the same questions that we had to back in 1776?
Yeah, I think it speaks to us. It's pretty amazing how that hits us now. And then what do we do? Because we're at that point where we do want to have a redress of grievances, but the government has gotten so powerful, so big, that it's hard to do so. And then you've got an entire mainstream media that seems to work for the establishment. So, I mean, the founders were very specific about keeping the federal government small. But unfortunately, the trend has gone the other way, and now it's become so bloated, so powerful, that it is hard to have that redress of grievances. But it certainly, if we could, if it was a lot easier, we certainly would. Yeah, things have changed dramatically. The people that don't care for those documents or the forefathers or their visions or their ideas have been working very hard for a while to try to bring it down in their own way, perhaps, or it does feel like that sometimes, but now we're in a position where that's easier said than done, but it's still possible, and it's going to be necessary because it's completely out of control, and it's only going to get worse until we decide to finally change it.
Yeah, I've said this before, and I'll say it again, that it's either absolute incompetence or it's an intentional plan to take down this country. It's happening under the Bush administration, happening under the Obama administration, and it'll happen under the next administration if you continue to allow, this one party called the Democrat-Republican thing. We don't get two choices in this country. That's insane. We think that they're both bought and paid for, and we don't want a Republican or a Democrat next time. How about we just don't? We see what they've given us with Bush and Obama. How about no thanks in the next election? But that's for another show. Well, November's coming up here in a couple months. But That being said, talk about a government getting too big and a redress of grievances. The Supreme Court has actually been doing a couple of decent things lately. One of them was, striking down 9-0 that the police have a right to just get inside of the contents of your cell phone. That's like those general writs of execution that the British soldiers had on them, where they could just write warrants on the spot for whatever the heck they wanted without any probable cause. Supreme Court 9-0 struck that down, but there was some other important Supreme Court stuff from earlier this week.
Yeah, there was, I guess, a couple of big decisions. One didn't really, it didn't seem to be that big of a decision, but the left wing was very, I guess, interested in this Hobby Lobby ruling. And they're, speaking of big government and the big socialist health care program, the Obamacare thing, I guess that kind of ties into that. And yeah, there was just this big outrage over something that seemed to be somewhat of a trivial issue to me, and it just made them look bad as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, the decision went I think the right way, absolutely. And then there was this huge outrage, even though it really only affects a very small number of people. Actually, it really doesn't. It hardly affects anybody out there at all, and yet the entire left is so just entwined with their party and their beliefs and their ideology that they all went nuts and made this a huge national issue, even though it's really a minor thing compared to all the other major stuff in the world that's going on. And it really blew up in their face this week. So yeah, I don't know if we want to get into the Hobby Lobby. And yes, about the people have religious rights in this country, and you shouldn't have the forefathers never would have intended for the government to be allowed to tell you, what you can do as far as running your business or your religious freedom, infringing on that. And we had a big decision on that with the Supreme Court because of this new huge health care law that's trying to tell, basically, yeah, and it comes down to just a stupid issue of whether this company is allowed to, what kind of birth control they're allowing to their employees. And why is the government involved in that? I have no idea, but it seemed to be a big issue, and the left really wanted to win this, I guess, to set some sort of precedent that they could force companies to, they made it even, force companies to, offer their employees birth control, and then they twisted it into this whole stupid war on women issue, and it just totally got out of control. It was, to me, it was just a very small story that the left kept propping up, kept making a big deal. Oh, the religion, going after the right, and oh, they're a bunch of wacky religious people that are just, putting Sharia law on the women of this country and taking their rights away because they don't offer, basically abortion pills, which this private company who is owned by a pretty religious family, and whether they were supposed to offer basically free birth control to their employees, which was just I'll stop here, Brian, because I do have extra, but I want to catch my breath here and let you get a word in.
Well, you shouldn't be forced to do things that are against what you want to do. It's just libertarian. It's just your money shouldn't be confiscated from you to go to Planned Parenthood if that's against your religious beliefs. And to try to force a company to provide things that they're uncomfortable with providing, that's, I don't know. It's about freedom and it's about liberty. Either you have it or you don't. People can work wherever the heck they want to work. And to see that this is blowing up and turning into some war on women again, like it's insane. If you single issue voters want to play this game again and put Democrats in office because you think Republicans are big meanies, you know what? Whatever. Have fun. Have at it. Because really, play the fiddle while Rome burns. You can get your morning after pill at Walmart or Target for $30-$40. Deal with it. How many times are you really going to be needing that? If you need that a few times a year, you need to maybe change your practices. That's not how you're supposed to use birth control, by the way. What did Hobby Lobby? They're providing 16 forms of, and it's all free if you go to Planned Parenthood anyway. You don't need to go through your health insurance. Like, there's plenty of options here. Nobody's taking any rights away from anyone. Just saying, hey, Sandra Fluck, go buy your stuff. Go buy it. Go buy it. Like everybody else has to. Go buy it. Spend your money, not ours.
Yeah, that's what it came down to, was this stupid outrage, like this company who is only has about 21,000 employees, I do believe. So a relatively small company, not like exactly like Walmart or something like that, some major employer. So some small company compared to comparatively speaking, and they don't want to offer certain types of birth control to their employees because of their religious views, and there's this huge outrage as though it's a war on women. And then later you find out, even before this Obamacare monstrosity, this company, Hobby Lobby, even with their religious beliefs, was offering 16 different types of birth control for their employees on their health care plan. And the only ones they didn't want were basically basically an abortion type of pill, the morning after pill, and the basically IUD, I think is what it is. It's like a actual surgical insert, and that conflicted with their religious views. But basically, they could have anything else. And if you're an employee of this company and you really want that other type of, you want that morning after pill so bad, or you want that IUD thing, you could go and do it out of your own pocket if you really wanted to have that. If you really wanted to have that done, but then all you see is this stupid outrage, like it's a war on women, and it was totally ridiculous, totally out of control, and yet the left just made themselves look like idiots, and it blew up in their face this week, and and they deserve it. So. I don't have anything nice to say, and I'm not a religious guy. I'm not, but I support a private business, and I respect these people's beliefs. It wasn't exactly what they said it was, and then when you find out that they were offering all different types it wasn't like they said, "Oh, we don't give you." The left made it sound like they weren't offering anything. Like they were just basically, and I even heard that meme of like it's Sharia law, it's the war on women, and then you find out they were offering 16 different types of birth control, and then it just totally made them look stupid. You saw Dana Lash on Hannity just totally slamming this lady from this organization of for women, the president of the National Organization of Women, pretty much summed it all up, and just totally backfired on the left. And it's like there's there's so many good stories going on, and this is what the left is concerned about.
Yeah, I find it astonishing, but I also like that the Supreme Court, like I said, 9-0, that you have a Fourth Amendment right still, that they can't just snoop into your phone because you get stopped by the police without a warrant. That was a good one. This is an administration that's been getting smacked down, trying to do stuff on their own, and you had this week also. You had the president out there, kind of mocking John Boehner, who said he's going to sue him for a whole bunch of the executive orders and governmental overreach that he's doing. And Obama's out there mocking him, just saying, "So I want to act. Sue me." Wow. Okay, so we're going to go there. All right. So we do have a man who's acting like a king in office. And at least, the federal system that we have, the judges, the Supreme Court, have been smacking him down. And now, we have two things going on. The VA scandal and their reports now with the VA. Well, you've heard about the waiting lists where vets were on fake lists, and I don't know. How do you sum that up, Blake? They didn't have enough doctors and enough time and enough appointments, so they said, okay, we'll put you on a list, and they weren't allowed to put them on the actual list because then they wouldn't get their bonuses from the federal government because they weren't doing a good job. So they lied about it, and veterans are literally dying as they're on written, secret, hidden other lists. And there's a report out now this week that says they were told at the VA to stop working on the backlog of cases to enroll people in Obamacare. Now, this could really, literally be the smoking gun that brings this administration down because, you're not even taking care of your veterans. On this 4th of July, on this Independence Day, to know that veterans are not even being taken care of and they were pulled off of the work that they were doing and they were behind on to help make Obamacare look better. I'll tell you what, man, that's if we can't get to the lowest learner emails yet, and we will, this might be the first smoking gun that could bring this administration down. Talk about overreach. This is just disgusting to me.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It's going to be a rough week next week for Obama. We got a couple of major developments coming down the pike. Yeah, one of them is going to be on Tuesday, and that is going to be, this latest whistleblower from the VA. So, this whole thing was like incentive-based, and they were supposed to see every patient within a certain amount of time, and in order to get their bonuses. So they basically, since it was impossible for them to actually meet the demand, they just decided to cook the books so that they could still get their bonuses. But then it ends up that some of these veterans really needed some help, and they died waiting for treatment when they could have been helped if they, would have been, done as though it was intended, and they were supposed to be seen within that time frame. So, but now we find out, and this is a pretty bombshell article that came out of Truth Revolt this week, and it actually comes off of an interview from Neil Cavuta with this new whistleblower named Scott Davis from Atlanta. He's going to testify Tuesday about the widespread destruction of applications, retaliation against whistleblowers, and people being shifted from processing the VA applications last summer to working on Obamacare enrollment. So Davis told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution that health benefit applications for more than 10,000 veterans may have been improperly purged from the Health Eligibility Center's national data system. And he began filing complaints in January, revealing that managers were more focused on meeting goals linked to the Affordable Care Act to meet their bonus targets than processing VA applications. So yeah, you get this bonus, this incentive program for people, and then it totally gets abused, and the veterans get ignored, and that actually led to people dying over this stuff. So we have a major problem going on in the VA. It's been going on for a long time, but now it's all just in a big full meltdown right now. as this whole thing is falling apart. So yeah, Obama's going to have a really lousy week next week, and it's not even. There's also, of course, that dovetails. There's going to be some new developments in the IRS scandal that's going to happen next Thursday and Friday, I do believe.
What's going on with that?
That's the 11th. I'm going to try to pull up an article. I know there was a couple of them I will get to here with the latest with the IRS. There's going to be some court action. Let me see if I can find that one. I'll dig. Go ahead and.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, here he goes, right here. I found it. Sorry. Yeah, this was out of the New York Observer. This came out a week ago. It says, breaking, meet Emmett Sullivan, the IRS judge who once sicked a special prosecutor on the Department of Justice. And you got a little sub-headline here. To Lois Lerner, Eric Holder, and Obama, are you packing your bags? So Americans are appalled over the false testimony of 4 consecutive IRS commissioners, Lois Lerner's countless acts of malfeasance, and the IRS's targeting of conservative groups and specific individuals, even among them even Senator Grassley. The ultimate outrage came over the lame, intellectually insulting assertions that all of the most relevant emails have gone missing from multiple IRS computers at the same time. So let's see. Judicial Watch has found the federal judge who has the integrity and fortitude to seek justice, and this isn't his first whack at the Department of Justice. Enter Emmett G. Sullivan, United States District Judge for the District of Columbia, and mark July 10th in red on your calendars. Because on July 10th, let's see, the Internal Revenue Service officials will have to explain to him why the tax agency didn't inform the court that Lois Lerner's emails had been lost.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were supposed to. The IRS was under strict orders to produce these emails, and then just as before the months, almost a year goes by, and they finally have to address Congress. And a few days before they're supposed to make that address, they found out, oh, we don't know where looks like her hard drive crashed. Like they just found out that day, and it's totally crazy. They're obviously not. They're not really doing an investigation. It's an internal, and the people that are running the IRS. It's basically been what would you say? It's turned into a partisan mess. We've got the current commissioner that's been appointed is actually a big Democratic supporter. So I mean, there's not actually, Askinow, who's been a contributor for the Democratic Party. Obviously, they put him in there because they could control him, and he wasn't actually going to dig out the corruption. So now they're trying to. So now they're saying, okay, you know what? We need to have an independent investigation. We can't trust the IRS to do the investigation, nor can we trust the Department of Justice. So we're going to have to find a different way to get at this. So, yeah, there's a big cover-up going on. It's in everybody's face. It's totally out of control. And so, yeah, we got a couple of some big events coming up next week.
Yeah, and on top of that, we had big events this week on our southern border. Murrieta, California residents, they stood up Bundy Ranch style and said, "Not in my backyard. You know, don't you drop another bus of what are they calling them? Illegal aliens? I mean, these are just people.
No, they put out a
invading
new article last night out of Breitbart that says they're not going to use that name anymore. It's
what
like
name?
Unaccompanied children. They
No,
can't call
unaccompanied
them,
children are found wandering at the mall. They veered off at the I don't know, Hot Topic, you know, or they were behind one of the T-shirt racks at Hot Topic or something. No, those are unaccompanied minors. This is an invasion. This is something that is not just accidental. Here's my question. How long has this been going on, and how many people have we let in here? So when did this start, and are we at 100,000 people? Are we at 300,000 people? How many people have just been dumped in this country flooding in on a superhighway from Central America. I want those numbers, Blake, because that's what's going on. Can you kind of sum up this story as best you can, as succinctly as possible, with what's going on with this border crisis? And won't somebody please think of the children?
Right.
Please.
Yeah, sounds like Nancy Pelosi. Right, and then today you've got Sheila Jackson Lee apparently greeting them with lollipops. So, Nancy Pelosi.
Wouldn't that be considered bribery? Wouldn't that be considered bribery? Like just future Democratic voters?
I mean, that seems to be what this is all about, basically. If you are in danger, the progressive ideology is failing, and you're expected to lose big time at the polls in November, and not looking so good for 2016 with the with Hillary as your only option. Where are you going to find a bunch of people that are actually going to vote for these people and keep them in power? Well, I guess you have to import them, give them, offer them a bunch of free goodies, and they'll look to you as their savior, and you can have them as your new voting bloc. That's perhaps what is going on. I can't think of another reason why they would just allow that, unless there was an honest-to-God labor shortage and our economy was just on fire and was booming, and we needed more people to help crank out all the American goods, and then we could talk about amnesty and bringing in some more people, but not in this way, not in the way that they're doing it. And it's hard to even put a number on that. The facilities that are they're putting these people in are so crowded and so overrun that they're actually just flying them around the country or busing them around different states. I mean, they're just pouring in the border. And they're not doing anything to stop it.
No, these are people that have scabies, that have head lice, that have foot and mouth disease, that have tuberculosis. The Border Patrol agents are getting sick. These are biohazards that are being dumped in our cities, and Murrieta said, get that the heck out of here. We're not equipped for that. It's not a boarding house. And then anyone that wants to say something, either, well, then guess what? You're a racist. What does that mean? What does that mean you're racist? Because you don't want people that aren't supposed to be in here. Or, no, well, look, they're kids. They're kids. You have to do nice things for the kids.
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Yes, Helen Lovejoy from The Simpsons, she gets it. And that's, so that's their big plan. The big plan is, well, you can't say anything or else you're racist or you're against children. Nonsense. We have a border. Well, what do you do once they're here? How about you turn them away at the fence? Well, there isn't a fence. Really? After 9/11, there's no fence. How about build a fence? Well, there are areas you can't build a fence. Why? Well, there's water. Well, you can build bridges, right? So build a bridge fence. You can do it. You can actually do it. We've engineered the Hoover Dam. We've sent people to the moon, but we can't build a fence? Get out of here. Seriously, get out of here. I cannot handle that line of question. Well, they're here. How do we have to be humanitarian? We don't have to do anything. You leave them in Mexico and say, hey, Mexico, number one, give us our border agent, or our former Marine, Tamarisi. How about let's get him back? And by the way, we're billing you for everybody that you're allowing on your roads that these coyotes are buying off your corrupt government officials that are supposed to be stopping this stuff. Yeah, how about we charge you for all of them, and they stay on your side? You want all these Central American refugees with diseases flooding your northern border? Well, guess what? We don't want it on our southern border, so stop it. So either we have absolutely no clue how to protect ourselves, or this is exactly what they want to happen. The Cloward and Piven strategy. Overwhelm the system. This is our backyards, Blake. It's Texas, it's Arizona, it's California, and they're shipping people to Baltimore, Maryland. They're sending them all over the country, not screened for diseases, not quarantined, and it's not like they're ever going to have their day in court to go. Just send them back, repatriate them to where they belong. They don't belong here. They're not from here. They're just sneaking in trying to get handouts. Well, guess what? We're broke and we need jobs. We can't just bring in an influx of hundreds of thousands of people when we need to be working. It doesn't make a lick of sense to me, but big government progressives and Democrats, they like it. They want it for some reason. But it's not good for the middle class.
They're welcoming in.
Yeah.
Not only are they welcoming them in, they are threatening reporters from. They're threatening their own staff. They're threatening in the medical staff. There was a bombshell out of Fox this week. Well, I mean, first of all, they don't want to have anyone showing pictures. They don't want Border Patrol agents talking about what's really going on. Their morale is low. There's a lot of them quitting, getting out of the business. They don't want to deal with this stuff anymore. They're not able to do their jobs. And then, but even to put a, even had a congressman in Oklahoma who had a bunch of these illegal citizens or undocumented people that were bringing into facilities in his district. And the Health and Human Services, some bureaucrats are telling them that he couldn't even go and see them and see his own facilities in his own district that he runs. And we got medical staff here. I'll get back to that bombshell out of Fox. The medical staff was warned, keep your mouths shut about the illegal immigrants or face arrest. I mean, they're threatening to arrest the people that are there just from speaking to the media or telling anybody what's really going on there. And nothing is being done to help the borders. And then you pull up the Drudge Report today, and you got Sheila Jackson Lee. She's out giving out lollipops to the new kids. I mean, yes, it's a very partisan issue here, and this thing has to stop. What are they doing? Why won't they answer? Why are they threatening everybody? How is this continuing to go on? When is this going to stop? What actions are being done to curb this problem? There is nothing being done, so basically the border's open, and they're basically giving an invite out to basically, come up here. And, you're talking about the medical problems. Yeah, they have a lot of diseases that they're bringing in and then just throwing them all around the country. So, that could overwhelm things, cause epidemics. I mean, there's all kinds of terrible things, and it's totally outrageous. They are desperate. They're panicky. They seem to be like making some sort of move. I don't understand. They got all these other problems, and you're talking about they're worried about immigration when only 3% of the people since a poll in January actually care about immigration, and it's been something they've been trying to push. Obama has been on his agenda, and he's going to try to do something. He's going to force everybody to do it, even though people aren't interested in it. The Republicans aren't interested in it because he can't secure the borders. It's been a problem for years. And so what does Obama do? Oh, just open the thing up, threaten everybody that wants to say anything, and I guess force us to do something. And if we don't like it, and if Congress isn't going to act and go along with his agenda, then he's basically threatening to do everything by executive order.
Remember who this guy is.
We are not just going to be waiting for legislation in order to make sure that we're providing Americans the kind of help that they need. I've got a pen and I've got a phone, and I can use that pen to sign executive orders and take executive actions.
I do what I want.
They added Cartman at the end. I do what I want. Okay, that was pretty funny. Yeah, and that's who this is. He's just saying, well, I'm just going to do things. Well, you're not a king, buddy. Remember on this 4th of July, this Independence Day, that you're not a king, and you don't act on your own, and nobody trusts you. You've burned through any credibility and reasonable opportunity that you had. You burned through it with Obamacare. You have burned through it by. I mean, this man really is. He really is arrogant, petty, inept, and he's not working in our best interests. He has a pen, he has a phone. That's from months ago, but even just now, he's just saying that he's going to act on immigration. Well, if they're not going to, I'm going to. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's forcing unpopular opinions or unpopular ideas, and that's a part of his agenda. And he's just basically, acting as a king, not acting in the best interests of everybody. And he's involved in he's playing a very dangerous game right now. And he's being sued. Even John Painter's is trying to, going to go sue him. And like I said, he's got a rough week next week. He's still got a lot of scandals going on, a lot of things to answer for. And it's past time for a redress of grievances, and this Obama guy has got to go. He's got to explain his actions, what he's doing. He's becoming a danger, a menace, and he is he's putting our country in jeopardy right now. And when does it end?
Well, here's from a couple of days ago, July 1st, the president.
Republicans have said no to raising the minimum wage. They've said no to fair pay. They've said no to extending unemployment insurance for over 3 million Americans looking for a new job.
How long is that unemployment insurance now? 7 years? Or is it 7 decades?
No, it doesn't go that long. It's been, of course, they're cooking those numbers as well.
No, because I know it's past, was it like 100 weeks now, 200 weeks of unemployment?
Yeah, I mean, right. And then if you can't find a job within that time, they just remove you off the list.
Yeah, they write you off. Anyway, so that's what they won't increase that. Well, maybe you should get a job in that time instead of mooching. All right.
And this obstruction keeps the
there
system
was
rigged
jobs, yeah.
for those who are doing fine at the very top. It prevents us from helping more middle-class families.
Yeah, because if there's one thing this president cares about, it's the middle class.
And as long as they insist on taking no action whatsoever that will help anybody, I'm going to keep on taking actions on my own that can help the middle class. Like the actions I've already taken to speed up construction projects and attract new manufacturing jobs and lift workers' wages and help students pay off their student loans.
Man, that crowd reaction is just so labored. It's like, oh, God, are you still in campaign? Really? I've heard this same crap from you for 6 years. Woo! Really? It sounds so tired to me.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be campaigning again next week. He's actually going to be in Texas next week. He's going to be visiting, I think, Austin and Dallas.
But he's not visiting the border.
Going to see the border.
What in the world is wrong with this guy? Anyway.
And they criticize me for this. Boehner sued me for this. And I told him I'd rather do things with you, pass some laws.
Hold on here. Hold on. Isn't it the House that actually is passing laws and they're all dying in Harry Reid's Senate? Isn't that how this is working?
In some ways, yes. This is very divided, and yes, you've got the Congress run by the Republicans, the Senate controlled by Democrats. Yeah, it's been a very
I don't trust the
most productive Congress, right?
I don't trust the Republicans at all, but the Democrats need to be neutered. Absolutely, this president he looks tired and beat and just weak. He just, what is it? Petulant? What's a good word? Anyway, another couple seconds of this.
Make sure the Highway Trust Fund is funded so we don't lay off hundreds of thousands of workers. It's not that hard. Middle-class families can't wait for Republicans in Congress to do stuff. So sue me. As long as they're doing nothing, I'm not going to apologize for trying to do something.
And isn't it trying to do something where government usually fails more often than not?
Right. Yeah, he hasn't really. I can't think of a lot of accomplishments in these last 6 years. It's been he was supposed to be the guy that changed everything, and yeah, it was all going to be better and a new America, and it's just been an absolute disaster, a train wreck, worse than anybody could imagine.
All right. Well,
it's not going to get any. It's not going to get any better. It's not going to turn around and make it all worthwhile.
While we're on train wreck, let's leave it with this final story here. Joan Rivers, everybody, in her own words.
Miss Rivers, how are you? You made a ton of news officiating the wedding in New York yesterday. Is this like a new cottage career move for you?
I am so excited.
Okay.
And I should do very well because I don't charge.
And do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman
we
president?
We already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. It's okay. She doesn't.
Just matter of fact. Very matter of fact. It wasn't delivered as a huge punchline.
No, that was didn't look like a joke to me. But you know, is it that far fetched? I guess is the real question there.
I don't know. One
And
more
do you
time.
think that the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman
We already
president?
have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a
I'm sorry, she's a what?
a transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. It's okay. She doesn't.
And she just continues on with her day. Yeah, that was not delivered as a joke. It was just delivered very matter of fact.
Yeah, you would think that. I don't know. I mean, I could imagine, you know, having a drink at a bar and talking to Joan Rivers. Like, you could totally hear her say that. It's not a big, you know, very matter of fact, and wouldn't be that surprising. So she said it on camera. Yeah, not mincing any words. And you know, there's something very shady about the past of Obama and perhaps Michael or Michelle or what. I've heard these rumors. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't even care if they are. But the thing is I would feel lied to. Why couldn't they be upfront about that? Instead, you're just basically playing a joke on the American people. But I mean, yeah, this Obama guy is very dangerous. He's been a complete fraud. We've had 6 years to figure this out. And if you really dig into his past, you'll find some very interesting things. Then we have the rumors with Larry Sinclair, or if it was Bathhouse Barry in Chicago, and there's rumors of Michelle Obama being perhaps being not what we think she is. I don't know. Like I said, I don't care. I'm not judging them for that. But I do have a problem with them making a mockery of the, our system here in the United States. If they're basically getting in on fraudulent terms and they're not who they say they are and they're imposters, I do have a problem with that. So, you know, I don't know. It's unbelievable. I think it was hilarious little soundbite. Yeah, it's absolutely going nuclear right now in the Drudge Report. There's almost 10,000. It's going to be 10,000 comments here shortly. It's absolutely, totally bombshell.
Yeah, weird times indeed. And that's the thing. You expect to hear outrageous, and I was up at the Hollywood Improv a couple days ago, and I saw Joe Rogan, and he was talking on stage a little bit, doing some stand-up, and he was kind of talking about the importance of being able to say things that you that you don't believe in. You know, as a comic, you have to be able to offend. You have to be able to say stuff and offend people. And that's our First Amendment right. And there's something that can be said for you vote with your dollars. If somebody is continually acting in a way that's just demeaning and, whatever, you don't see them anymore. If you don't like it, don't view it. But you can't tell people what they can do and what they can't do. And that's, whether it's the Hobby Lobby, whether it's Obamacare, I still don't understand what dirt they had on Chief Justice John Roberts to get him to change his opinion and pass this monstrosity in the first place. But this country was founded on the fact that we're not supposed to be able to be told what to do. We should be able to live our lives and make our decisions, and as long as we're not negatively impacting somebody else's life. I can't choose to dump toxic waste into the river because that impacts other people. I can't choose to, whatever the case may be. But, whether Joan Rivers is, she looks serious in this video. It's actually weird. It kind of creeps me out. I've heard plenty of rumors too, and we know we can't get to any of Barack Obama's.
Reggie Love, we forgot to mention. Yeah, Reggie Love. The fact, Obama's past. And I hate to dig into that past, but it becomes relevant if you're basically, acting as an imposter and getting into the highest level of office, the highest level of trust, and you're not the people you say you are. You're radicals with a crazy agenda, and I don't care what you do sexually or what goes on. Just be upfront and honest about it.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's...
If you love freedom, yeah, if they were doing the right thing and everything was great, if they were turning things around, and Brian, you and I were sitting here talking about how, great things were in America, how it turned around, and how the Bush administration was the most awful thing in the world, and then Obama brought all this hope and change, and we were sitting here talking about how great things are, and he turned things around, and we were freedom, and the economy was great again, and we were sitting here praising Obama, and then Joan Rivers dropped that bombshell. You know what? I wouldn't even care. I'd be like, you know what? I don't care if Obama's gay. I don't care if he has a shady past and he has Reggie Love over once in a while, or if Michelle Obama, whatever she's got, whatever kind of equipment she has or doesn't have. They're good people, and they stand for freedom, and they've helped turn the country around, and they delivered on their promises. I wouldn't care.
So sue me.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't care either. It's all policy. It's just weird because we haven't seen the transcripts from his college records. He was born with a different name, Barry Soetoro. We know that he was raised and had different mentors, Frank Marshall Davis and Bill Ayers, and you go through all the people in his passing. This is really out there stuff. Growing up in Muslim countries, studying. You just wonder the true motivation of who this guy is. And now 6 years in, you just have a totally different perspective of there's enough body of evidence there where you go, I don't think we're getting the real story here. No, and it's ridiculous. Like, I don't take my marching orders from Joan Rivers, but it was weird, like, how matter-of-fact she said that. It was really weird. It wasn't a joke, and it's obviously resonating because this is a conversation that a lot of people will have with their friends over a couple of beers, and I don't care. I care about policy. I just care about policy. I just want maximum freedom, minimum invasion, minimum waste, and maximum help. If you can't take care of your veterans or seal your border, those are kind of like the only two things I want you for, government. That's it. Just keep me safe with the military, keep the border safe, provide some basic infrastructure, and let us do our thing. A little bit of, and in doing that, you have to protect us from people dumping toxic waste places. And fine, okay, I get a little bit of that. But really, if you can't take care of our vets, the only heroes that we have, the police and fire and the veterans, if you can't take care of the vets or keep our border closed, I'm sorry, Disneyland cannot function if you don't take care of the employees working on the inside or the gates on the outside so that all of Southern California floods into Disney. You can't control it, and it's just, you can't control it. That's all I want out of government, whether it's our first gay president, our first woman president. I don't care. I care about policy.
First transgender first lady.
Yeah, it was very...
That's not really a lady. It's two guys, or I don't even know. I don't care. Like I said, I'm not judging them for how they were born or whatever is going on. Yes, exactly, Brian. I will judge them on their character, on their policies, and those aren't so good. So, shocking, not really, but not exactly. Well, maybe for other people. So I don't know. I mean, if that comes to if that's really true and that gets exposed, I don't know. I don't know what the general public's going to think. Like, oh my God, what has been going on here? How did this happen? How did this country get usurped in this way? Who's running this country? What's going on here?
Well, the end of the Declaration of Independence after the laundry list of problems, it ends in this way, Blake. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for a redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. Nor have we been wanting in attention to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our emigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They, too, have been deaf to the voice of justice and consanguinity. We must, therefore, acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation, and hold them, as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, peace in friends. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress, assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from the allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. That is our Declaration of Independence. And that is what we are celebrating today on Independence Day. You can call it 4th of July. Maybe you might want to call it Independence Day, because that's really what it is. It's the moment that this country kind of said, all right, you're not helping us, you're hurting us. We've asked you to stop doing this enough times. Now we're telling you we're done. You've lost us. You had your chance, and you did not earn the right to govern us anymore. And a free people ought to abolish or change any type of government that works in a way to harm us. And really, when you're not protecting our border, when you're not defending our veterans, when you're using the IRS as a weapon against political enemies, when you're using the NSA to spy and violate our Fourth Amendment rights on every email and text message and GPS location and phone call that we make, no, I don't. You no longer represent us. You're not abiding by the Bill of Rights. We have protections, and you're running roughshod over them. So that's what today is about, Blake, and I'll give you the final word on what the Independence Day means to you.
I think you summed it up very well, Brian. I don't know what else to add to that. It is a big deal. It's time to for people to get a little bit more involved, pay a little bit more attention to what's going on in Washington, and start thinking about those words and what our forefathers, went through, what they did for us, and don't let those ideas go away with this administration basically running all over us and basically doing everything our forefathers would not have wanted, did not intend to do. So they've worked around it, and it's time for us to have that redress of grievances, have these debates, have these discussions, and make this country the place that it deserves to be.
Absolutely, Blake. Well, thank you for joining us on this Independence Day. I do appreciate your time. I hope you have a good one. Enjoy some barbecue and some beverages. And everybody be sure that you follow him on Twitter. He's at Eccentric99. That's where you're going to get the best of his stuff. Plus, he does his live show Monday, Wednesday, Thursday from noon to 1:30 p.m. Pacific. You can check him out over on Freedomizer Radio. Blake, thank you very much for your time, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, everybody, real quick, please make sure you check out our homepage, thenewamericanmedia.com. On the bottom right, you'll find our Facebook feed. You can click that and like our page, or you can do a search on your own. Search The New American Media with spaces in between and like our page. On the bottom right of our homepage at thenewamericanmedia.com is also our Twitter feed. That's at American_media_. Follow our account for the breaking news and information and insight and things that make you And also, please subscribe, youtube.com/The New American Media. My name is Brian Engelman, signing out here for Agree to Disagree here on thenewamericanmedia.com. I appreciate you. I love you. And peace.
Your guide to the truth. The New American Media. Tranny.com.